All right, what's going on? Here we go. Hey, what's going on? Guess what I'm about to do? I am about to give you guys some real and exclusive information. I want to help you guys out, and you want to know why? Because you all need to be making more money. So, what I'm about to do is walk you through the sales process and give you some secrets, some tips. Good morning, Kavi, and somebody else is on here. You guys got to excuse me. My eyes may be wandering because I'm doing all three right now. I'm doing IG, doing YouTube, and doing Facebook right now. I want to talk to you guys because I want you to make some more money. And in order to get you to make some more money, we got to have some real conversation around sales. And if you said any of these kind of comments, it's Lenora. You can see Lenora, but I can't. Hello. If you've made these kind of comments like, well, this time of year, I'm not going to really make that much money. And you want to know why? Because people are taking their money. I'm going to sit this up here and they are spending it on, Black Friday stuff for Christmas. The mommies don't have money right now because they're buying toys for their kids. Well, people don't really spend their money because it's the summertime and, you know how it is. People are spending their money on vacations. Well, people are not spending money with me right now because they're getting their kids back in school. They're sending them back to college, so they don't have any money. Do you see that it doesn't make a difference what time of year it is? You guys have a reason behind why somebody won't buy your stuff. And it's time out for this. You cannot be thinking this way because people spend money. Sorry about that. People spend money all the time on what they want when they want it. And this is a reality that you guys need to face. Okay. This is just me being real with you all. People spend money any time of year, all year round on what it is that they want. And you have got to get it in your mind that people want your stuff. I had one of my clients say, hey, I want to throw this Black Friday deal out there. Do you think I should go ahead and start promoting it? Do you think I should wait? Or maybe I shouldn't offer this a Black Friday at all because people are going to be selling other stuff and their interest is going to be, buying other things and their interest is going to be somewhere else. So maybe what I should do is just wait until after Black Friday. Maybe I should do this at the top of the new year. So let me just ask you guys a question. The people, whether they're selling cereal or cars, let's be really basic, cereal or cars, do they stop advertising? This is the question that I want you to ask yourself. When people are selling cereal or cars, do they stop advertising because it's Black Friday? No, they don't. People that want to make money, they have a marketing budget, and this is something that they do all the time. Just give me 1 second while I thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. I'm making sure I also share this to my personal page. I want as many people to get their eyes on this as possible. No, they don't. All year round, all the time, you see people advertising whatever it is that they have to offer, and you need to start realizing that you need to have that same kind of mindset. If you're looking at the overall world, then you know what? Then the vast majority of people may only be going broke for Christmas. But I've had so many people, hey, how you doing, Dion? This is something that, if you're in business, you want to know this. I have had people come to me and say, hey, I just got my birthday money. I've been waiting for you to be my coach. And they've invested in themselves and went ahead and bought that coaching practice. I've heard other people do live videos and say, yeah, I got some money from, for my anniversary or my graduation, and I put this money towards this. So if you're a business owner, the last thing that should be coming out of your mouth is that people don't have money to spend with you because it's the holiday. People are in the mood. 'Tis the season to be doing. And there are a lot of people who don't want to wait until New Year's because they know they lying. They know if they say that they're going to wait until January 1 before they make this change, that it's not really going to happen. There are people every single day that are saying, I got to do something different with my life. And so a lot of you're in your business, you're making these offers, you're not getting people to buy your products, and you're like, what is it? You know that you're good at what you do. You know that people get good results when they work with you, but what do you got to do to get more people to start saying yes? Well, the only way they're going to say yes is if you start communicating your value in the sales conversation. And so a lot of you, what you've done is you've gotten into these programs, you've listened to these individuals, thank you for the love, and they've given you very scripted info. And it's been one of those things where, okay, well, you just ask them. Let me run the script down to you. You know, you let them say hi, and then you say, okay, so what brought you here today? What is the biggest problem you're facing? What do you believe is getting in the way of your goals? How would your life change if you were able to get past this hump? How serious are you about getting past this hump? And then you go in for here's a couple of things that I can do, give an overall overview of how you can help. And then the person is just supposed to be drooling over you and say, they make an offer, and then a person is supposed to say yes. That's like the standard script. I kind of just fumbled through it. But for those of you that have been through any kind of school and been through any kind of training, then you know that this is what it looks like and with the sales call. And so a lot of you feel like when you do sales, that is sleazy. A lot of you feel like that when you're talking, it feels inauthentic. And that's why it's hard for you to go from, hey, this is what I do, and I'm so excited. I love to treat skin. I love to teach Spanish. I love to coach people, and I do this, and I got these kind of results. That'll be $200. And then your energy changes because you don't feel authentic and you don't feel real with what you're doing. And you know what? You shouldn't, because it is awkward. How do you go from this really intimate conversation or this really cool conversation with somebody and then all of a sudden be like, oh yeah, and by the way, that'll be $50. You know, it feels slutty. It feels sleazy because it is. But when you learn how to sell properly, asking for money no longer feels that way. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about. And so listen to me. There are several things that you do in a sales conversation. Of course, before you can even get into it, you got to make sure that your mindset is right. For those of you that haven't listened to today's podcast, I give you 3 primary questions that you need to ask yourself in order to be able to basically have a sales mantra so that you go into the mindset right with understanding how you should be feeling, where your mojo should be when you're doing sales. You said, yes, learning to sell properly is so important. It's a game changer, Lenora, right? It's a game changer because it changes the way that you connect with people. Well, the second thing you guys need to do is you need to understand it is important for you to establish a rapport. You do not need to worry about having a script. You just need to be able to open up the doorway for some level of thank you, Camille. I'm going to come right back to that. You need to have a level of communication with the person that is non-sales oriented, but that still opens up the door for them to feed you information. During the rapport process of the sales conversation, this is where you can get an individual. Hey, Samoa, this is where you can get an individual to tell you everything you need to know to empower them over the hump if they're having a doubt of purchasing something from you. This is when you get them to talking about their dreams and their desires. When you're doing this part of the process, I'm going to tell you right now, one of the biggest mistakes that I see people make is that they talk too much. How many of you, if you were to have your sales conversations recorded, if I were to listen to them, that you talk more than 50% of the time? You should literally only be talking about 10 to 20% of the time. You just should be strategically asking questions to get the person to pour out a mouthful to you so that you could be able to say, oh, so this is what fuels their desires. Oh, this is the power behind why they're doing what they're doing. And when you do that and you open up the door for other people to talk more, then you get the information that you need. But if you're always talking about what you're doing, then it feels pitchy. It feels salesy because you may feel passionate about what you're doing, but let's just think about it from a psychological perspective. If you're the one who's doing all the talking, then it's all about you and your process. But when a person is sitting down with you for a sales conversation and they're doing all the talking, what do we, especially, come on, ladies, I primarily deal with ladies, but it doesn't make a difference if you're a man or a woman. What do we typically like? We like for people to listen. We like for people to feel heard, because if somebody just comes to you, for instance, on a car lot, hey, how you doing? How you doing? What you looking for? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, I'm looking for it. So, well, I got this over here. And it's like, wait a minute. I didn't even tell you everything. All you heard was that I wanted a new car and I preferred for it to be black. And you're automatically taking me over here to this type of vehicle, and you didn't let me get any information out. those are the kind of salesmen you're already like, oh, okay, I can see what kind of person this is. And you don't want to buy from them, right? And so you got to allow people the opportunity to talk to you and to give you that information. Now, as that rapport is being established and you're inserting something to connect with them, you got to connect, excuse me, you got to connect with them and say something so that they can feel that chemistry between you and them. Then you need to go into actually asking the questions to get to the core of what it is you need to specifically know. So we've gotten past the desires to the specifications. And when you get the specifications, then you'll be able to insert your expertise. A lot of you all are failing in the sales process because you're overgiving with your expertise. You're overwhelming people because you can do 50 million things and you're not understanding how you strategically only offer things that correlate with what an individual desires. Okay, I hope all of this is making sense to you. And once you're asking the right questions, you can jump into offering and asserting what it is that you had to offer. And once again, it feels comfortable because there's this connection of they need this. I got this. They need this. I got this. And this is what allows this whole exchange to not be sleazy, but to be real. Because here's another thing. Let's just face it. Let's just be real. Some of you guys feel sleazy offering your products and services to people because you never really established a connection. It's like, okay, well, overall, I'll use you for an example, Camille. Oh, well, overall, I know they want to learn how to speak Spanish. So let me just ask them if they want to take lessons. And it's kind of like, once again, it's almost like, hey, I'm going to take you out on a date. All right. Now, will you marry me? Or now can we move in with each other? You gotta really get that connection in the middle of the conversation. And guess what? If you've done all of these 3 steps right, you can open up the door for objections. Hey, do you have any questions? What's bothering you? And you want to know what that will do? That will put you in a position, excuse me again, to be able to say, oh, okay. Well, remember when you said, and this is why I do this. You can overcome their objections. And if you're really cavalier, once you master this craft, you will have had them eliminate their own objections as well. This is all a part of the psychology behind how you sell to people. And then once you get into the point where you're actually closing and you're asking someone to invest in your product or service, and we say invest in yourself, it won't be that hard for them to do that. And the reason being is because they've already been like, oh my God, this is just so beautiful. And you don't even say stuff like, are you ready to invest in yourself? You just say, hey, let's get this thing on and pop it. You know, instead of you being so worried about being professional, you could say something that correlates to what you offer. Like, hey, let's get your skincare regimen started, you know, for someone like you, Lenora. And these are the things you have to do. And guess what? When you do this, the probability of you closing the sales conversation on a yes goes through the freaking roof. But here's the reality. We all know that all sales don't close right away. And the follow-up process is important. And what a lot of you guys do is you kind of just leave it open like dust in the wind without setting the proper expectations. And so you feel weird and you feel like you're chasing people even when you're following up. Well, guess what? If you got the right information through the entire conversation, following up will also be a breeze. Why am I sharing all of this with you? Because if you're not doing all of these things, you need help. And if you're not doing all of these things, I know that you have a low close rate. But if you want to get to the point where people are doggone near beating down your door and telling you, yes, you need to do all of these things. And you cannot do it by just saying, oh, and what does this mean to you? And what is your value? And I hope that you like this. And are you ready to go? Because it doesn't feel good and it isn't comfortable. But when you can do it and when you can say it using the terminology that is specifically related to your industry, then that is when you hit the golden nugget. Because you guys got to think about it. People have been hearing the same words over and over again, just flipped a different way. And they kind of just sit there saying, okay, I'm going to listen to what they got to say. I know in a minute they're going to make me an offer. You don't want somebody feeling like that. You want somebody feeling like, okay, so what do I have to do in order to get started with you? And that is one of the reasons why you need to understand that, yes, there is. Somebody may say, August, are you saying there is no script to selling? Yes, there is, but it's a personal script. It's one that you develop over time. And doing everything that I'm saying could be done in 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or an hour. Thank you, Lenora. And yes, Camille, I saw your comment that the sales mantra is so powerful. It is. And people, you need to listen to today's podcast to understand how to develop that sales mantra. It's a mindset hack for selling. But when you get to doing what you're doing, if you follow the system, the foundation, not the script to selling, thank you for the love. What you end up seeing is you do say certain things more often than not. And you begin to do what I call having rapid fire responses. Do you know that when you do something long enough and you give rapid fire responses, that's part of what makes you look sexy. That's part of what makes your sales process look like, oh my God, she knows what she's talking about. But when you're fumbling through and you're talking too much, when you're not precise and concise with your communication in the sales process, it doesn't feel good. And it doesn't feel right, not just to you, but to the person that's on the receiving end. And the people that get the sales are the ones who usually understand how to have the best psychological effect. If you're lacking in this area, you get an opportunity. I've been putting this out there. You get an opportunity to save $200 to get the sales class with me for Black Friday. My Black Friday started already, and it ends at midnight. If you want to take your sales to the next level, if you want to, yes, sexy sales, that's what yes, it's not sleazy, sexy sales. If you want to take your ability to sell to people to a completely different level, then you don't. Listen to me, it's not an option. If you're already struggling to make enough money, what you don't do is you don't put on hold the opportunity for someone to teach you how to make more money in a way that's authentic, that lines up with your personality, that lines up with your brand, that lines up with common conversations that you have with your clients. You say you don't know what you need to do for sales until you try it August's way. Thank you, Camille. You really don't know. And the thing about it, I like how you say August's way, but August's way teaches you how to do it in your way that's comfortable for you. Real talk. You have an opportunity to save $200 off the offered price, but this is definitely value. This is one of those high ticket offers. This is valued at $9.97 all day long just to do the sales class. It's regularly $4.97, and I'm giving you $200 off and pricing it at $297 for those of you that are like, okay, you know what? I don't have until January 2018 to get this done. I've got to start bringing in the dough now. This class isn't just going to help you understand how to sell. Once you get it, it'll help you understand how to write better posts. It'll help you understand how to do better videos. There's much more to understanding it'll give you clarity about your business, because you want to know why? I don't do just a structured thing. I want to know what you want to know. I want to know what it is that you need. I want you to give me information beforehand. Isn't it kind of cocky and arrogant for people to always tell you they're going to teach you something that's going to help you in your business, but they never ask you questions about your business? They never want to know where you stand and how you feel. I cannot know anything about you and still give you the methodology that is off the chain. But how much better would it be for me to be able to specifically say, oh, okay, well, you know what, in your industry, you definitely do not say these kind of terms. In your industry, it helps you if you use these kind of terms. And I've even had people that have been in the same industry, but because they have two different sets of personality, tell them, no, you talk this way, you talk that way. So I've been going and I've been putting up the posts. I'm also going to be putting it in the podcast. Every day this week, there's going to be an episode that correlates to selling, where I'm going to dig a little deeper on the things that I've said, but for the ultimate transformation, for the ultimate level upgrading of knowing how to sales, don't wait. I'm going to put the link in this video. Sign up for the sales class. It's going down on the 29th of this month, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you answer the questions beforehand, you can even ask some of the people that have been in the class before. If you present the information that I need to know prior to the class, I'm going to weave your answers into the class so that when you get the replay video, you will feel like you were there at the moment. The proof is in the pudding, people. Go to the website and check it out. Look at all of the reviews. I have yet to have a woman take my sales class and walk away and not have her life completely changed with the process. I'm just waiting on you guys. I'm just waiting on you guys. If you've bought all of the steps, if you've listened to your coaches and you've got all of the automation set up, if you got the class written out perfectly, if you know you get the results when you finally get somebody to say a yes, then the only thing that's missing is the skill set. No more of this is just your mindset BS. It's the skill set. You say, yes, absolutely, tailor it to all the participants. And that's why I keep it intimate and small, no more than 10 people. I could easily do this in more of a conference style where I just leave it and I open up the floodgates for as many people as possible that want to join. But I really like my intimate experience. I like it to be tailor made. So with all of that being said, the offer's on the table. I know that this is what you need. You have goals set. You have a vision behind why you do what you do. You like to get people stellar results. You are doing what you're doing because there's so much passion behind your why, but you can't do it if you don't have any money in the bank. You can't keep building a business where you're not getting any funds in return. And getting money from people should not be like pulling teeth. Those one times when people just come and spend money with you because they just did it, those are those, anomalies. Those are those, every blue moon type situations. I don't want you to do that. I want you to raise your stats. I want you to go from closing 2 out of 10 sales to doing 5 out of 10, to doing 6 out of 10, to getting an 8 out of 10, and just keeping it real. I want you to get in the at least in the 80 percentile. And if you do this and you keep doing it over and over again, you are going to get there. I'm ready for you. You guys already seen me in action. You know that I'm real and I don't hold back. If you haven't experienced me in a class, the coaching format, in an instructional classroom format or the coaching format, you have no idea what you're missing. I aim to please. I give the best in everything that I do. And I'm 1000% focused on what you need, not what I want to do. So I want to thank you guys for joining me today. Thank you for everybody that came back and watched the replay. I'm telling you, don't sleep on this, because this is the difference between you making that money. Your website can't be pretty enough. Your post can't be compelling enough. Baby, that conversation has to be on point, because even with the best presentation, you can destroy your sale if you don't understand how to have the sales conversation. You said the sales class definitely changed the game for me. As a matter of fact, if you don't mind, Lenora, I can't remember exactly what the stat was, but your clientele that had went down for totally, private reasons, you were able to rebound that. I think it was like, I don't remember if it was 50% or whatever. I will let you, put in the comments, but just to let them understand that by engaging in a new sales process, it was able to put her in a position to rebound from a really crazy situation. She had to go back and look at her records herself and say, wait a minute, I've closed so many accounts that this is where I'm at now with my sales and how many clients I have. And now, hey, she stays busy. She stays busy because she's good at what she does, but she also knows how to broach the conversation, and it doesn't have to feel awkward. So you guys have an awesome day. I'll be back later on with my why challenge video, but I had to definitely get on here and make sure you all know that there's a methodology to selling. You didn't know it, but it's time for you to know it, and I want to beast it out with you. I'll be back in just a minute to put the links in the video. All right. See y'all. And for the people watching on IG, all you got to do is go click the link in my bio and go to the sales masterclass, and you can get it from there. So bam, that's what it is. I'll talk to you all later. I'm out of here. Deuces.